For the first time in over a year, I'm about to say something completely honest. I'm not looking for pity, nor am I asking for understanding. This isn't about making myself look like a victim. I just need to let this out somewhere because keeping it inside is crushing me, piece by piece. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm a 39-year-old woman who destroyed the life I once had. I cheated on my husband. I lost it all. And I have no one to blame but myself. I thought my life was ordinary, maybe even good. At 24, I married a man who loved me deeply. He was steady, reliable, gentle, the safe choice. A year later, we had our daughter, Emily. She's 17 now. Smart, beautiful, sharp-witted like her father. And so full of goodness that it almost hurts to think about how I've failed her. For years, I played my part perfectly. Devoted wife, caring mother, hardworking professional. I worked in marketing, slowly climbing the ladder, until I landed a job at a regional firm. That's where I met Mark, my boss. He was about 10 years older, effortlessly confident, successful, and magnetic. He reminded me of the life I had once imagined for myself, but set aside when I married young. It didn't start as an affair. At first, it was just coffee breaks that went on too long, laughing at each other's jokes, confiding about work stress, and complaining about our partners in ways that blurred lines. I began to feel noticed again, not as someone's wife or Emily's mom, not as the person responsible for laundry and dinners, but as me. And I didn't resist it. The first kiss happened after a company dinner. We stepped into the elevator, the doors closed, and I let it happen. I didn't stop him. That kiss led to a hotel room. That hotel room led to 3 more business trips. And soon, I was living a double life. I still came home every night, still kissed my husband's cheek, still asked Emily about her day, still helped her with college applications. But every word, every smile, every gesture was soaked in lies. I told myself I was just filling a void, that my husband no longer looked at me the way he once did, that after years of putting everyone else first, I deserved something for myself. But the truth was, I was just selfish. Then came the day Emily found out. She borrowed my iPad when her laptop died, and I had left my email open. Mark and I had been reckless. There were messages, flirtatious, explicit, and worst of all, emotionally intimate in ways that belonged only to a marriage. She read them all. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She went straight to her father. That night, the silence in the house was suffocating. My husband didn't speak through dinner. Emily didn't even look at me. I didn't yet know the damage had already been done. After she went upstairs, he asked me if I was seeing someone else. I couldn't lie. I simply said yes, my voice sounding like it belonged to someone else. He didn't shout. He didn't break things. He just looked at me with a kind of pain I can't put into words, as if he had just realized he didn't know me at all. Then he walked into the garage and sat there for over an hour. 2 weeks later, the divorce papers came. He moved out quietly, taking the furniture from the guest room, and staying with a friend until he found a small apartment. There were no cruel words, no scenes, just a devastating calm. He left without a fight, carrying a hurt so deep that it didn't need noise to be heard. It felt as though all the strength had drained from him. Emily didn't speak to me for days. When she finally did, it was like opening a floodgate of anger. She hurled every insult she could find, saying I'd ruined her life, broken her father, and made her sick to even look at me. I tried to defend myself, to explain that I'd never meant for things to spiral so far out of control. But what could I possibly say that would undo the betrayal I'd committed against my own family? Nothing could. After that initial storm, something unexpected happened. She didn't leave completely. She didn't go live with her father full-time. She told me she didn't want to make an already awful situation worse, so she tried to keep a foot in both worlds. For a while, I thought maybe we could salvage what was left. I leaned on her far more than I should have. She became my only source of comfort, the one person still speaking to me, and I clung to her. I cried to her when I should have been shielding her from my pain. She told me she forgave me, reminded me that everyone makes mistakes, and said she didn't want to lose her mother too. I believed that meant we still had a bond. I was wrong. Gradually, she began spending more time at her father's. At first, it was just weekends, then a couple of weeknights, until eventually she was there almost all the time. She claimed it was quieter and better for focusing on school. I didn't argue. Soon, she stopped replying to my texts as quickly, sometimes calling me Lori, instead of Mom, when she was upset. Her warmth faded, her words became distant. It took me months to realize what was happening. She was growing away from me, maybe even healing away from me. My ex-husband, despite the pain I'd caused him, began to rebuild. He got in shape, started hiking, joined a cooking class, took up photography. His laughter returned. I'd see photos online. Him and Emily cooking together, camping, smiling like they belonged in a different world now. At first, it stung like betrayal, but deep down, I knew it was relief. She was mending with him, without me. We still meet for lunch sometimes, and she sends me messages on holidays, but it's not the same. I'm her mother in blood, but not in heart. Not anymore. That part of her belonged to the version of me I destroyed when I chose an affair over the family I had. Mark moved on quickly. He was never going to leave his wife. He never needed to say it. It became obvious once my divorce was final, and he began pulling away. I had been nothing more than an escape, a temporary thrill, a midlife diversion in a skirt. When the situation became complicated, he vanished. Suddenly, I had no husband, no lover, and only half a relationship with my daughter. I moved into a smaller apartment, sold much of my furniture, got a cat, and went back to therapy. Every day, I try to gather the pieces of the woman I used to be. The one who once had a good life but threw it all away for a handful of reckless moments. That life will never return. The worst part isn't the loneliness or even the guilt, it's the little moments. Passing my daughter's empty room. Shopping for groceries alone. Seeing photos of my ex and Emily smiling together. Living memories I'll never be part of again. Watching the two people I hurt most become happy in a life I destroyed, knowing I have no place in it. Emily will be leaving for college soon. She chose a school near her dad. She says it's because of the program, but I know that's not the whole reason. I'm happy for her, truly, but the ache it leaves is something words can't quite capture. I broke something that can't be mended. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this: don't. I know it sounds simple, but I've lived both sides. The intoxicating rush of feeling desired again, and the crushing weight of sitting in your car sobbing because your child won't answer your texts. Infidelity doesn't just shatter trust, it shatters people. It rewrites the story your loved ones thought they were living. It makes them question everything they've ever known. It doesn't just burn the house down. It scorches the ground so deeply that nothing good can grow for a long, long time. If you're unhappy, speak up. If you're lost, reach out. If you're numb, fight to feel again. But don't lie. Don't betray. Don't become what I became. Because even if someone manages to forgive you, they will never truly forget. And neither will you.